Paladin Hell Knight. That was a fun RP.
All right. Eric, anything else to add about your character? What with all this exposition into your guys' backgrounds?
Um, so one other thing to note is so her familiar is a winter hare, and again, so her she draws her power from
The warp, obviously. Warhammer 40k style.
well, not exactly from sort of the deep um, the winds of the north and etc. So she doesn't know exactly who sent her hair, but it seems to have arrived the same way she did, shall we say.
Okay.
One element I'm not sure about, and I'm sure Eric can inform us as we go. I know. Sorry, I'll stifle myself for a minute.
Okay.
Hmm?
Has anybody finished their own character backgrounds?
I have an idea roughly.
Okay.
I got to put things still together. So,
Yeah, okay, well, hit us with it.
uh, so based on the random generator thing and what I had come up with before, I was born to elven parents from where is it? Kyreni. I'm horrible with names. Kyonin.
Yonin,
Keone, yeah. Yeah, that's the elven city,
the
isn't it? One
elven
of those right there?
nation. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I'm born to elven parents who were going to the worm. Wow, I'm
World
butchering this
Wound.
horribly. To the world wound to fight, help the Medieval Crusades, where some magical force, created the Tiefling me. And I have, so far that I've, noble parents who were actually, it's really weird. This generator worked really interestingly. My parents were knights, and let's see here, a few more things. Let's see. But anyway, after my teen years sort of developed, and I developed more of the tiefling heritage. My parents passed me off to a friend to get me out of the elven area, take me to where someone they wouldn't care as much, and I had a divine calling during that route. Somehow got into some kind of criminal situation where I was blackmailed and on my way towards Taldor. So sort of a basic idea right now. Still piecing it, but
Okay. All right. So again, that background generator, not just to fill in your life, but also give you access to traits. Dan, you're pretty good at making characters because you die a lot often. I need to make a new word for how much you die because it's basically every book.
I die a Dan amount.
Yeah, Dan amount. I wanted to thank Swargula for hosting us real quick and welcome Swargula Bros, Swargies. I don't know what you guys might call yourselves. Maybe just Swargula's viewers. That probably least offensive out of Swargies. Dan, yes, your character. Let's talk about that instead of my bad attempt at yeah.
Well, according to the random background generator, I re-rolled until I could get the unusual homeland, so I'm a
Really?
snow.
Really? You didn't have to do that. You could have just said, I will be from an unusual homeland. I said if you had options you needed.
That's why it
Work
was
with
taking me so
me.
long.
What is the unusual homeland? It's like you have like a 1% chance of that happening. You just sit there and hit F5? Come on, Dan. Work with me here, buddy.
All right.
5 18s and a 17.
Ugh. Okay.
uh,
Why Why not, instead of telling me what the random background generator says, tell me what your narrative is? Ooh, that sounded fancy too, didn't it?
Yeah. So
My
those are
narrative.
Tie it together for me, Dan.
Well, Snowdrift Saboteur is a snowcaller elf from far to the north. It is an almost nomadic tribe of elves. Uh, he was born in. He was a scout originally, but he turned his talents to surreptitiously raiding human settlements to get whatever supplies the village needed when diplomacy just wouldn't suffice. His parents were, like most elves, wizards, and try as he might, young Snowdrift Saboteur couldn't necessarily get a working grasp.
Okay.
One day when he was in one of the major human settlements, let's say Whitethrone, he hitched a ride on the next caravan heading south to head to Taldor, for he had heard stories from one of the rare adventurers coming through of the Pathfinder.
I think his internet's dying again. Dan.
And hey,
couldn't tell if it was
that
his or
could
mine.
be the sort of thing for me. Things are like, what's up?
You died right around Taldor.
What's going on? All right.
Can you hear us?
He came to Taldor. Yes, I can hear you.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us about Taldor.
He came to Taldor. He came to Taldor by hitching a ride with the first caravan he could find out of Whitethrone heading south. After he heard tales from the adventurers on said caravan about the Pathfinder Society, and he thought, well, maybe the Pathfinder Society might be the thing for me. Could get me out of the snow.
Said no.
I'm always... might get me out of the snow. I might be able to experience what summer feels like.
We still have you there? You seem to be going up and down.
With his things in hand. Still have me.
Yeah, we lost you somewhere around Pathfinder Society, right? Last thing I heard was things in hand.
Oh yeah, but
I think you might want to just
Yeah.
turn off your video
That
because I
was-
think it might be lagging you out, buddy.
Yeah.
I heard you went to Taldor to see
Sure.
what summer felt like and to get chicken fingers in hand.
I don't think that's what he said, but that would be awesome reason to go to Taldor.
Sweet and sour honey
yeah,
mustard.
chicken fingers and ham. Let's do it.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that's not what he
Chicken
said.
ham and mustard. But you know what? No, it is now canon.
Okay.
Chicken fingers and ham. That is my reasoning. It's like, wait. What is this ham? I must try it. And off I go to Taldor.
Okay. Anything else in there?
Well, there was the minor issue of stealing enough money to, be comfortable on the caravan.
That's a pretty.
I don't think it was Whitethrone itself. Maybe one of the baronies. Forget which one. But yeah, that came up as my conflict.
All right, interesting. How to use that one. It might be nice to have another drawback for you where you're being chased by the police. So that could be a thing.
So when are we going
Oh, is it
to
going to
do
be another
the
gold-based drawback?
backgrounds?
I thought you and Matt kind of had backgrounds all together. If you
I
wanted
meant
to...
for drawbacks and the extra trait.
Oh, I'll be writing custom drawbacks.
All right.
based
So how
on
do you
what
want to
else you're
pick
thinking
which trait we get?
Yeah, no, so here's how traits are going to work. You guys are going to get 3 traits. One is the campaign trait from the player's guide. The second is going to be from rolling up your background. If you already have a background like Matt and Eric, you can kind of just fill in the blanks and take whatever would be closest. Because, it sounds kind of like maybe Matt is a militia veteran, right? Because it sounds like he's served as a witch guard for years, even if he hasn't technically been in the militia. That's not unreasonable. Yeah, so 1 campaign trait, 1 trait from character creation, and then 1 trait from anywhere. Hopefully that's not too confusing. You can pick any trait from anything, except another campaign.
Okay. What would be a relevant trait for Yukiko? Let's see,
Matt, thank you
where's
for
the
hosting us,
page
by
with
the
the
way.
traits?
Sir?
Yep, hosting us.
Oh, can you actually see that I'm hosting?
Yes, sends me a message.
Oh.
Let's see here. Are we missing anybody so far? Sean, have you gone through the background generator?
I have my own basic idea what I have for the.
Okay, let's
Great.
talk about it.
So originally, I was traveling with my druid owner because originally I was a wolf. We were attacked by a pack of what was it? Actually, it was a cave bear that attacked us, and I had fallen during battle.
Okay.
And he had it was not reincarnated. It was what's it called again?
Reincarnated?
Yeah, reincarnated. Yeah, and was reincarnated into a human, which then he had taught me how to be a druid, and I kind of slid into more of the wolf shaman druid to regain my wolf stature and be more like a wolf.
Hang out
And
with
that's as
wolves
far as
too.
I got to.
At some point, you'll be able to talk to wolves, I think.
Second level.
Yeah, pretty easily.
You can, yeah.
Talking to wolves. That could be a big deal. Not that there's any wolves in a winter-based campaign where a city full of winter wolves are found, but it's gonna be.
It's one of the most interesting backgrounds I've heard.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool background.
That is unique.
Wish I could add more to it though.
So if you wanted to look at that link that I threw up on the Roll20, it's called the PFBG Gen. I think it's the last thing there. You can just throw up the random background generator and put in your race, which is human, and your class, which is druid. And, yeah, generate a random background.
Okay.
There. For some reason it didn't work for me. Oh, I didn't select the class. Yep, and from there, it'll give you, like, a more complete background. Some of the things won't make any sense for you. And for the things that don't make sense, just remove them. For instance, as a wolf, you're probably not going to have a human family, so...
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Just ignore that part.
Probably.
Everyone should have picked a campaign trait from the player's guide. Hopefully everyone got a chance to look over that. So let's go through and see who picked what. Eric, what did you grab?
I picked warded against witchery.
Okay. Tell me about that trait. You might have to open the player's guide. But it's a good time for everyone to open their player's guides.
Yeah, let me open the player's guide quickly.
Sound what?
Dun, 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 dun. Have to be careful about humming too much of the Jeopardy theme song, or else you'll have to pay royalties.
All right. Ward against witchery. Sometime in your youth, you encountered a location, object, or being steeped in the power of evil witchcraft. Whether you were a victim of this force, or a conduit for it, or merely witnessed its effects, the event changed your life. You have tried to put the strange incident behind you and forget it, but the nebulous premonition of danger, eerie feelings of deja vu, have done your steps ever since. So, whether through your purity, the blessing of goodly spirits, or an innate determination, you have acquired resilience against the power of the dark arts. You get a +1 trait bonus against the saving throws. On saving throws against the spells, spell-like abilities, or supernatural abilities of evil arcane spellcasters, and a +1 trait bonus on spellcraft checks to identify spells cast by evil arcane spellcasters.
I hope you are keeping track of all those bonuses, because I did not even track them for less than 3 seconds. In one ear and out the other.
Yeah. Basically a trait bonus versus evil arcane. Who knows when that might come in handy?
Yeah, that's weird that in a campaign with arcane witches on the front cover that you might... Yeah. Weird. Matt, what did you pick?
I also picked Warded Against Witchery. Being familiar with the Skull and Shackles campaign, I thought it'd be best to have traits that would protect me from my own party members.
That is wise. Wise indeed.
Warded Against Witchery, I picked because I think that was one of the traits that caused the witches to draw me in as a recruit, even though I was older than normal. And it's also it's definitely why the Chilblight Fae co-opted me and tried to use me against them when they saw that I had some resistance. It would make a good pawn.
Okay. Dan, what did you end up picking?
I wound up picking our Northern Ancestry. It's one of your parents, or myself in this case, came from the North, and the Tales of Frozen Lands at the Top of the World you grew up listening to, or, lived, excited your imagination. Alternatively, maybe one of your... you feel most alive during the chill of winter, and as a child you spent hours playing in the snow. You rarely feel the cold, and you've always had a restless longing to travel north. You gain a +1 trait bonus on fort saves, as well as cold resistance 2. This resistance is not stacked with cold resistance gained from any other source.
Cold resistance, pretty ballin'.
I know.
Yeah, that'll probably keep you from getting hypothermia at the campaign and dying. Not joking about that. Some of you from the PSOC might know Ben Finger. Probably not. He hasn't been around for about a year. He was running this last year, and his first group died in the first 3 days in-game. They got stuck in the woods and started all dying of hypothermia and were too weak to crawl out. And so they froze to death slowly over the course of 3 days. It's one of the most horrifying descriptions I've ever heard, because he was like, every hour they had to roll another fort save to see if they were dying. Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Well, I'm really glad I have permanent endure elements cold.
Is that Sylph again?
No, that's for being the Winter Witch archetype.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about you winter witching and not being a part of the Jedwiga, right? Or evil, because I mean that's pretty much what they roll around with, right?
Right. There's the issue of my source of power is different than theirs.
We'll get back to it in a second. Oh, you're gonna claim it comes from your hair, right? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, my hair is a good hair. He's not an evil Arctic hare like those other Arctic hares.
I never said he wasn't evil.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to this. Michael, what did you pick as a campaign trait?
I was thinking about going the Restless Wayfarer. You have long led a nomadic life, perhaps because your parents were travelers, whether roaming Varesia caravans or traveling merchants. You belong to a nomadic tribe, or you ran away from home to discover the world at a young age, being a tiefling. Figured that would work.
Yeah.
Some call it a wanderlust, but you thought a new place of existence is truly what makes life worth living. Basically, you get a +1 bonus to knowledge or knowledge geography or knowledge local. You actually get a bonus button to both of those. One is a class skill, and you get a bonus language.
Excellent. What bonus language might you pick?
I was thinking about Skald.
Ah, Scald. That's good, because guess what? The Daily Bard for this campaign, in Book 2, it's going to change to being the Daily Scald. You know, thematically appropriate.
Nice.
I was
I
also
took a rank in
considering
linguistics and put
retranslating it all to
Scald in.
Norwegian and posting it, but
You can, I want to do it.
Seriously.
Finnish.
Go Icelandic. I need to practice.
Sean, did you have a campaign trait picked?
Not yet.
All right.
I had one, I thought, Sean. Blood of the Giants, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
It was, yeah, I have the bluish. I have got it pulled up. I don't actually remember what it is now.
All right. So I found my extra trait, Arthur.
All right.
So looking at things to see what makes sense. So found familiar under background. When you were young, you happened across a strange animal with whom you forged an instant bond. It instructed you in casting spells and became your closest, most trusted companion.
That sounds
You
right.
gain access to the animal friend gnome race trait.
Okay, so you're gonna get Nomi with it. All right.
Get know me with it.
I'm sorry, Sean. What was the trait that you picked? I didn't catch the name of it.
The blood giant.
Okay. Do you have the description for that?
I believe it gives me a +1 on CMB and CMD. I'm gonna check that though.
Okay. I'm guessing probably versus giants, or maybe. Oh no, just because you have the blood of giants. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that there would be giants in this campaign, even though it says
What are you
that there
talking?
are.
What are you talking about?
That's the thing about these player guides. They always spoil the shit out of the players because they're like, now listen, whatever you do, don't read the next 2 lines, but there's dragons in this campaign and also giants, and it's very cold.
There are
Well, wait.
dragons in this campaign. Also dungeons.
Yeah.
Whoa, we can't talk about that. Whoa.
Yeah, seems a spoiler alert. Isn't that what you're supposed to say?
Spoiler alert. No, we can't talk about Dungeons and Dragons on a Pathfinder show because then Wizards of the Coast comes at me.
Right, it's the world's oldest role-playing game.
Yeah, that's how we refer to it, right? OGL, world's oldest role-playing game.
Pretty much.
From Hasbro.
Hasbro.
I don't know. I saw, what was it? Is it XKCD where they had a comic about how all of these weird, like, potion making books back in the day were all just
Oh,
from
yep,
druids
I
in
know that
England
one.
that were LARPing.
Oh yeah.
I remember
Oh,
that
was
one.
fantastic. It was so good. Okay, well, I think we've pretty much got the characters. Let's do the connections between them. I'm just going to go ahead, and because they're so well bonded, just say that Eric and Matt already have a background connection, being that they literally have a connection. So we're going to start with Matt. You're going to pick another player who is not Eric, and then form a connection with them.
This is getting political. Okay.
Not political. It's easy.
Yeah, I will pick Michael.
All right. All right. Roll D100, and real quick, for those wondering which
sweet.
XKCD comic it is number 593. Your druid doth lose 2 points. The source book saith that requires some wolfbane. Okay, at 54, you and Michael are... That takes a long time to scroll. You know each other by reputation only. So let me say, how does a Winter Guard know of a Tiefling Paladin roaming around in Elfland, and vice versa?
Good question.
Um, the first thought. Well, what kind of alignment? I missed the part
Paladin's
about what.
lawful good, so
I'm a
Oh,
paladin.
the paladin's lawful good. Excellent. Well, that
yeah, that's weird how paladins might be lawful good.
um, well, there's some lawful neutral ones.
In other books, that the oldest game.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I guess. Well, I guess in the new D&D 5e, you can be like a chaotic paladin or something, right? You just have to have an oath. Sure.
Whatever.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you can be a lawful neutral paladin now because you can be one of them fancy roaring paladins.
Or
And just be
Calistria, I
like
believe.
Judge Dredd. I am the law that fights with only fists.
Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, I think Calistria has a paladin too. They keep popping
No,
up.
no. Calistria has anti-paladin, my friend.
Well, that's the difference.
As
She's a
Mobius
chaotic
has.
neutral god, very close to that anti-paladinness.
Well, I think what I'm thinking here is that on this, when I was in Taldor, I'm trying to work the elf thing into it. But when I was in Taldor, I had to rescue Yukiko. That was my main goal. And so as I was hunting these or tracking these slavers or bandits, however we decide who kidnapped Yukiko, um, I part of the reason I was able to free her was that I discovered them hearing the exploits of Michael's character, who was also at that time waging. Perhaps he had just mauled them in a nearby village and bloodied them, and then I was able to, as he distracted them, as he was laying waste to them, I just sort of snuck through the back door and freed Yukiko and got out of there. So I haven't actually explored or adventured with him yet, but it was his um, distraction that helped me get Yukiko out safely.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not much of a super fighter. I like trying to heal people or something like that too. I don't know.
I will accept that. That actually sounds pretty cool. You were just going around the battlefield and helping people out?
You know, I'm more of a hospitaler warrior of the Holy Light paladin.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
my goal, if I survive long enough, and maybe it takes to 6th level or so, I'll be able to raise dead as a paladin. Ultimate mercy.
Ah, yes, of course. What I need to do is get a monk in one of my campaigns and then get them to 20th level so that they can explode and die, and then no one will ever be able to say their name again. That's a monk thing, where when you die, no one can ever speak your name again. And his name was The, and no one can say that particular word now, ever.
Can you pass the chicken? Damn it!
It would be great if, just to mess with people, you had an order of monks dedicated to naming themselves common words.
Oh,
Not
man.
one of us has ever gotten to 20th level.
All right, so Michael, you get to pick any other person except Eric or Matt. And,
I think I'll try Dan with the
okay,
elf.
let's roll it. You know, it occurs to me, I should switch to our rolling thing. Excellent, and everyone's face is in the right place. Roll to 4, which is your family or close friends, relatives by marriage or adoption. Tell me
Really?
more.
How?
You rolled around in Keonan, right? And he's an elf, so not
Yeah,
that
I'm
you're
a
racist.
snowcaster elf.
But that's a thing.
I'm a,
Well,
s-
tiefling elf, right? So
I'm a, like a snowcaster elf. That's like way up at the North
Well,
Pole elves.
elves get around. Okay. All right, listen, here's how it is, Dan. Either you're related to him by the tiefling side or by the elf side. So you got to make a choice there.
go for
I'll
the
take the elf side, please and thank you.
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe you guys are distant cousins. You know, 4 generations back, your moms are bros. Or, the opposite of bros? Sisters?
Yeah.
Broettes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay, distant related.
Even meta and everything like that. What do you think? would we have had a family reunion, you think? Or just like,
Yeah, sure, why not? You know, elves, you know, every 100 years or so, they get all the whole family together.